Oh, okay. We're live. It's that simple these days to go live.
Great.
You just press it once and we're there. Hello. Welcome. Oh, we're not, we should be looking in here. See? I'm very happy today. So this is the Daily Meds podcast. This is the first live that I've got with Ricardo Kondo. I'm Natalie Lauraine, but this is my co-host today.
Hello.
Hi. What do you want? He was going to record us. So we were going to get technically set up, which we have done, but then we started chatting, had a cookie and a cup of tea, and it kind of flopped, didn't it? Did you want to put that camera up there? No.
No, I don't. But I'm actually going to do some just backup audio in case we need to have backup audio.
This is why you need a tech guy. This is why I'm very happy.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah, I can be front of house, you can be back of house, dream team. I love it. So today we are going to be talking about vulnerability in the music industry. We've got some funny and awkward stories to share. One with us both, where we were screaming at each other in a car park in Reno after Burning Man, which is quite a cool story.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about your release.
Yeah.
As well. So first and foremost, I want to say what the Daily Meds is. The Daily Meds is my actual app that I'm creating at the moment. Well, I've already created it, but it's meditations to get you through awkward and uncomfortable moments. And so today I wanted someone I could talk about awkward vulnerability with, who is going to be radically honest and share share his stuff. So this is why I'm very glad that you're with me today, because we've gone through it as friends, haven't we already?
Yeah. We've gone through some mud, literally.
Yeah, we came back together. I think how many months did we give it when we weren't talking? 3 months.
Well, the thing is, I was gone for
that
2
was right.
months.
Yeah, so we weren't really not talking. We just didn't see each other.
Didn't see each other, but you definitely, I was aware of the situation, and I was like, okay, when I get back to Ibiza at some point, I'm gonna have to reach out.
And I'm glad you did. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sat here.
Yeah.
So now this works. So, okay, tell us a little bit about you, Ricardo. I mean, I know everything, but tell us a little bit where you're from and you as an artist.
Well, I was born and raised in Mexico City. I live in Ibiza now, here. I've been involved in music for the last 20 years in many shapes, ways, or forms. I started playing guitar, Metallica songs, just like a lot of teenagers back then. And then I went to Berklee College of Music. I studied film scoring because I wanted to write music for film and TV. And then I did also some studies in audio engineering. So I've been anything from front of house engineer at a cruise ship.
Actually, I worked on a cruise ship as well.
I
was a nail technician.
No way. Yeah. I've been music for short films, for advertising, interactive music for websites, stuff like that. And recently I just moved to Ibiza to have a career as a DJ, producer, and artist.
Amazing. So, and your track, tell us about that. First and foremost, the first one, the one that's out, is it not out this week or last week?
Last week. Well, yeah.
You pretend like you've got so many tracks. You're like, oh, which one could I possibly be talking about? Well, the most recent one that you've done with Unders.
Most recent one. I thought at some point you wanted to talk about I See You.
Oh, yes, I do. We'll talk about that in a bit.
So, yeah, 2 weeks ago, I got my first release on Happy Camper Records, which is my friend Duncan's Unders label. And yeah, it's a remix we did for Norwich Q, who's one of the artists on the label. And it's a remix we did actually a few months ago. We finished like 6 months ago, solid 6 to 7 months ago. And it's really funny because it was such a lesson in like making decisions, because like we ended up having to release two versions because we like them so much. But
it's a nice problem to have.
It's a nice problem to have, but like one version was version 34.
Oh wow.
So we were set on that one, which is the Sunrise version.
Yeah.
And then we sent it to Norwich Q, and then he said like, this is great, but I actually liked version 22 also. And we were like, all right, let's release them both. One is and it makes total sense because one is more for a sunrise set, and the other one's more for a sunset set, and one is more driving and the other one's more trippy. So yeah, it's really amazing how to like you make something, you put it out there and see the reaction of the people and see the numbers go up. It feels like a video game almost.
Amazing. So we've got a lot of sunsets and sunrises in Ibiza. If you haven't been to the island, that's pretty much all we do. Sunrise, sunsets. So you've got now, is this the only track you've got out with Unders, or have you got more with him?
I've got a few. Last year we released two tracks together in the Gardens of Babylon label.
Love that.
Yeah, For Humanity and No Time. We've made a lot of music for Demo Basa, the clothing brand. That he's basically, all his wardrobe is Demo Basa.
That's the Dune.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
they did
So the
outfits
outfits, you
for
have to
Dune.
explain that a little bit better.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
the
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool outfits that they wear in the
Really.
film Dune. And you're just like going over that as if it's nothing. I'm like, guys, come on. This is a big thing. And we need to get some of those outfits. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Basically anything that you wear at Burning Man as well, which looks quite cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we actually have another release coming in March, which is a remix that we did together of a band called Merak from Amsterdam. And it's a beautiful, beautiful track called Ederlesi, which is like a traditional folk song from, traditional from Romania. And I think we did a great job. I'm really excited about that one. Like that one.
You should be as an artist. It's amazing how many artists don't really stand behind their own music. They're like, yeah, there's a release, and you don't hear anything else. But we were just talking about that off air, actually, about being confident with your music and such. But you've got a really kind of unique approach that you're taking for your music, which is partly the reason why I wanted to have you on today, because you're now pushing your edges. It's not about your art as a musician. You're actually pushing your edges into being an artist on social media, which is a whole new domain. So do you want to tell me a little bit about coming out of the social media closet and now doing content in a very different way, which I love. You have to follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, I think there was a turning point last year. With all the experiences that I had during my gigs and during the festivals that I played at, I had this download at some point that I was wrong, because I've been telling everybody that for the last 20 years that music is my life. And then I realized that it's actually the other way around. Like, my life is my music. And that shifted everything, because when I did I See You, which was a very personal track, this is basically a letter for my inner child. And when I just started speaking about vulnerability and about things that I go through in my life, you know, I have a few tracks that are going to come out at some point with voice recordings of really deep conversations that I've had with my ex-partner.
Which I think is an amazing thing, by the way. I just have to stop you there. The fact that you had beautiful conversations with your ex-partner and you're now using it in your art, I think is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny because I have a terrible memory. So at some point she said, we need to start recording our conversations because sometimes you don't remember about things you said.
Oh,
And
God,
I was,
she's good.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, it was there was some adjustment that needed to happen. But then, yeah, like, we have conversations of really beautiful moments. So I just decided that was a good idea to make a track out of it. I have another track that I just made with voice notes from one of my best friends. And yeah, it's just, that gave me, because I feel like I learned how to make music, I learned how to produce music, and when you go at it as I want to learn everything about music and learn everything, you're just like, all right, it's like, you know, it's like being a chef and being able to do any plate that you want. But like, then there's a chef that does like the specific sushi that only he can do. So
would you say that this style of kind of intimate conversation genre that you're creating is your kind of signature dish of music? They're more meaningful. Is that your kind of way of...
Yeah, I feel like for me, the biggest compliment I can see when I'm DJing somebody with their hand in their heart and their eyes closed. If I get to that point, that's great.
Do you know, this is a good segue in to talk about your mum.
Talk about my mom. Like really, like we're 8 minutes in and we're already talking about my mom.
I think we should go straight into this part. So he told me a story. Okay, now I'm going to have to set up the context for this because
of course.
The most important thing to an artist is to actually be the artist, to put the art out and not just keep it in. But then how it's received is out of our control. But the most important thing to an artist is in some way, shape or form being recognised. And being recognised for your art is the greatest gift that you can give an artist. Am I right or am I wrong? It's that being recognised.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, and not all artists, but that you might have your own interpretation. But for me, is the recognising doesn't have to be amazing, but just to be acknowledged. And you did an incredible thing, which I'm going to let you go into in a minute, and for your mum, which is the person on the entire planet that is the most kind of sacred point of attention and awareness and love and that kind of real depth that you have with a parent, if you're lucky enough to have that, to be recognised and witnessed by your parent. And do you want to say what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start with saying, like, my relationship with my mom is the biggest challenge of my life.
Okay.
Right? So it's been, my mom is an amazing person, and, but there have been many years throughout my life that we just didn't really see eye to eye, and I always felt like we were just not, I realized that actually last year also, I realized that we were the same archetype in a different body, because I was a rebel in my family deciding to pursue music, and she was the rebel in her family deciding to become a chemical engineer in 1960.
Yeah, that's quite an achievement.
You know, so like in 1960, coming from a small ranch or town in Mexico, saying, I'm not going to be a housewife, I'm going to go to Mexico City and become a chemical engineer. You know, her graduation photo is like 200 men and 4 women. Wow. So she was a rebel in a different outfit, you know? Yeah. So I feel like that's what connects us and also makes us like creates friction. So anyway, I got booked to play at a festival in October in ADE in Amsterdam. And it was literally the Saturday after she turned 80 years old. So she turned 80 years on Thursday. I was playing on Saturday. When I found that out, I called her and said, hey, do you want to come see me play? I'm going to play in Amsterdam. We were going to be in Japan, so we were like, let's travel from Japan back to Amsterdam and you're going to see me play for the first time. And she said, yes, which I actually was surprised. So then I had this idea and I wrote a letter to her. And it was like I cried when I was writing the letter. It was just a very brief message saying like, hey, you've told me once that you were not going to be able to go in peace until I have my own family. And I want to tell you, this is my family. You know, like this is the people. I was in Amsterdam. Amsterdam feels like a second home for me. So many friends were there and people close to me that really feel like family now. And I cried when I wrote it. I cried when I recorded it because then I said, I'm going to strip the vocals from my track I See You, put that in and play it when she's there, right?
Beautiful. And
I have this moment in my head that is going to transform my relationship with my mom forever, and we're going to see each other differently after this moment. It was a big lesson in expectations. So I get everything ready. I get a video crew to I tell them like this moment is going to happen. You have to be ready for this moment. I cue everything up. I'm in the dance. I'm in the booth. She's next to me, sitting on a chair. I'm like, hey mom, I need you to stand up for this. She's there. Like my mom was so uncomfortable being the spotlight.
Yeah.
And then I started playing the song, and I mean I had the first slot on the festival, so the room was like 3/4 full or maybe half full. And then I started
and your mum's friend was there as well.
My friend, yeah. That's an important thing.
Important part, yes.
My mom's friend Alejandra was there, and I started playing the song, and there's a few people in the crowd that know about it, like 4 people, my friends, so they were really excited about it. But I also at some point I was like, like people were like, what is happening? You know, like they're listening to something in Spanish because I recorded it in Spanish. So I think, anyway, like it goes through, everybody claps. There's a really big, beautiful moment before the drop. We hug each other. And then at the end, I was like, so what do you think? And she said, what was that man saying? So not only she didn't even understand the message, and she didn't even understand that it was me speaking, right? She was, and I get it, like she's 80 years old, she's in the DJ booth with like massive sound system, super overwhelmed in Amsterdam, and it must have been really interesting for her to just, you know, like I just moved to Europe not even 3 years ago, and now I have a community in Amsterdam. I have friends. I'm playing. I'm DJing. She's never seen me DJ before. She doesn't even understand what it is. But that was like the most precious moment. Like,
how did you feel when she said to you, "What was that man saying?"
I just laughed so hard because in that moment I understood that was exactly what needed to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's who my mom is, you know, and the thing is, you know, you expect this. My mom is not that person.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't. It's like I always keep saying, like I'm expecting apple from the pear tree. You know, it's like, and then I'm mad at the pear tree, you know, because
I'm
didn't give me apples.
expecting an apple from a pear tree.
I mean,
I've had relationships like that.
You know, like my mom was like that. And then. I mean, her friend was crying in the dance floor.
The fact that the friend got it.
Yeah, the friend got it, and she communicated to my mom. And then the next day, I sent the track to my mom, and she. Yeah. And then, for example, like another thing my mom did, she just sent the audio file.
Yeah.
Which was an MP3. It was not even a link, but like one of those audio files that you see in WhatsApp that has no title or anything.
Yeah.
Forward to the family chat, no context. And this chat, like, we use it for trips every, like, 3 years. So, nobody listened to it. Yeah, you send it out to the wind. But then, that was October. So, in December, I received a video from one of my nieces in Culiacan, in Mexico, over Christmas. And my mom, like, and it's like a video of my mom's phone. All the family just looking at the phone, and she's playing the track.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the way my mom shows up.
Oh.
You know, and
so she played it when you weren't there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I felt so cringe.
Cringe.
Yes, I don't know. It's just like it was really funny, like this feeling of like without even being there, just feeling cringe of like.
This is a recognition that, like, in an indirect way. It's such an important lesson.
Yeah. It was a lesson in expectations. It was a lesson also in like just doing things because you want to do them.
I remember when you told me, and I like laughed and cried. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, that, like, my mom was always very complimentary of me, but I don't think she ever saw me DJ. No, she didn't. But she knew, actually she did, because I had the decks at home in the washroom and I would go and DJ there. And she said, all right, show me your thing. And then she said, all right, you know what you're doing. And I'm thinking, how do you know what I know what I'm doing? Like, you don't even know what mix is. You don't like, you know, like, you don't even know. But she recognised it. I was like, all right, cool. And it didn't land for me at all. And then I thought,
my mom can say something like that.
Yeah.
Like she always wants me to send her my music.
Yeah.
And then she gives me feedback.
Cute.
And I'm like, thank you, Mom, but like, no, thank you. But so yeah, it was just a really good lesson into removing myself from the outcome and the expectations, because I had so much joy. Like for 3 months, I was thinking about that moment. And so excited and recording the vocals and sharing it with people, and people were so excited about the moment, and you know, and I have a video of it that's gonna last with me forever, you know, and and yeah, maybe if somebody tells you like this is what's gonna happen, actually, what happened?
Oh, looks like your camera was unplugged. Oh no, I think
might
the
always
audio's
unplug
still
it.
here, but these are the technical dramas that happen. That's fun.
That is
Let's
interesting.
see. I don't know if you can hear us, but we are definitely still here. The camera is definitely not unplugged. Oh, so you have to click that there. Clip it there. We'll be back in a second if you're still there.
There we go.
See? These things happen. Technical dramas. You see, I
Technical
was doing a show the other day. So thank you if you're still with us and you stayed with us through that moment. That's very important that you did. I was doing a podcast the other day. Someone interviewed me and I was using something called Descript, and which usually works perfectly. Absolute dream. Not really had any issues with that before. 8 times it stopped working. As we were trying to record, I said, there's something that I'm not meant to be doing right now. I don't think I'm meant to do this. And I had to kind of give it up afterwards. But we really tried, but 8 times. And you just have to style it out when things go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, things will go wrong.
Always. I remember when I was a bit nervous, I went to Miami last year to do the daily meds at the Good Time Hotel for the Art Week. I was really excited and I got my microphone and everyone's laid there and they'd all been breathing first. And then I came on and started doing the meditation. And everyone's super relaxed. And I'm saying to them, it's really important that you notice the space in between the words. And then this guy in the DJ booth decides to just test the music at that point. So just plays this like ragged track.
No way.
As everyone's laid there. And I thought, what do I do?
What do I do?
And I was like, even when things happen and you don't want them to happen, you cannot be in resistance. So let's go with the flow. Listen to whatever he wants to play right now until it's over. And they were all laid there like smiling, thinking, bless her. So cringe, but you just have to get on with it. It's the most
I mean, I think that's the best attitude. Turning things into humor, which is, I think, very British.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of chat in that area.
It really requires a special... special thing.
Well, this is the thing about the daily meds that I'm doing is like they're for awkward moments because my life has been filled with some of the most uncomfortable, awkward moments you could possibly imagine. And I don't know whether I attract it or whether I'm just meant to be a comedy sketch for God. I'm not sure. I feel it like my friend called it Netflix instead of Netflix. It's just like
I've definitely seen that a few episodes of that.
Oh, right, I know. Well, let's go there. Actually,
Okay.
We'll talk about Netflix in Burning Man.
Wow.
Now, we were tested, not because of the weather, not because of the 3 storms, not because of the lack of like water and electricity or anything.
You know, that's the... Oh, I lost my... I lost my phone.
He lost his headphone, microphone. Go on.
You know what? That's the funniest thing when people ask me like, "Oh, how's your burn?" I was like, "Oh, very challenging." Like, "Oh yeah, the weather." I'm like, it had nothing to do with the weather.
I know. Yeah, it was really challenging. I'm like, no, that was the best bit.
Yeah, that was actually fun. Like,
yeah, that was the highlight for me. It was the weather.
Yeah. It was like it was challenging even before that.
Very challenging. You know? Okay, so there we go. Oh, my friend's saying, have we started? Is it on? So we're just going to check while we're on air to make sure that we're actually on air, because that would be good. He said he thinks there's a delay. So we have been recording. Let's check it out. Keep going. You can talk about, while I'm checking it out on YouTube, you can talk about, here we go. Oh, we are live. See if we can see ourselves.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
There we are.
There we are.
This is so weird.
This is so weird. We can see ourselves on here.
That's amazing.
It is good.
Well, I mean, how deep do you want to go? It was just like it was just a test for everyone, and it was just like the most surreal things happened, and you know, for me, it was so interesting to see how like every time you thought like this is it. Wasn't it? You know, it wasn't it. There was more stuff coming, and every time, like, for me, what was really interesting was every day there would be a moment, starting probably from like Wednesday. Every day there would be a moment where we actually united as a camp.
Yeah.
And then someone or something.
The other 23 and a half hours out of the day, we all just went.
Yeah, but like it was just like there was always a point of like, all right, well, we're already here, well, let's make the most out of it. Let's all chip in, blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
then something would happen that would completely destroy the vibe and completely destroy the unity, and
Yeah.
then we would like start again, and then the next day everybody's like kind of also getting back together, and then it would just happen every day, every day,
Yeah,
every day.
it was a bit like a weird time loop that we were in, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
we had single-handedly the worst camp leader that you could ever manifest. And I remember that there was everyone on the camp was looking at me because lots of people were saying, "Oh, we want you to be the camp leader," and I'm like, "I didn't come to the desert to be the camp leader. That's not what I'm here to do." And they're like, "No, but you can handle it." And I remember looking, and I was just like, we have to take responsibility for the fact that we collectively have manifested this woman. For some
Yeah.
random reason, we had to take ownership that we manifested the most challenging, difficult person you could possibly have. It was like a really unaware, morally spoilt Barbie was running our camp. And it was wild to watch someone, and for us as grown-ups and people who are like kind of that shouldn't happen, then we're just watching it happen and we're like, oh my god, this is actually happening. It was really bad, but then it pushed us to our limits as well, because we had a little argument on the way out of Burning Man, and we ended up having an argument in the car park in Reno.
At a Petco.
Was it Petco?
It was like a Petco.
Yeah, Petco car park. And we were screaming at each other. And I had his mum's car because I had her car keys, and he wanted the car keys back. And he was meant to get something for me, and that hadn't happened. So I was like, no, you're not having your mum's keys back. So then we just went on this massive rant. And it was really triggering and really emotional, and loads of things happened. And I won't go into the full details because it's the drama. But I remember you driving off. Because that was right, I wanted my stuff out of your bag. I wanted my purse or whatever it was out of your bag.
Yeah.
And we were like, I wouldn't give you the keys because I wasn't sure if you were going to give me the bag. And it with this pathetic argument between the two of us, it was really bad. And then I remember being at the point of so like high frustration. And then I sat on this curb and you'd gone. And I'm so angry. I'm like seething. And then I turn around and there's this tattoo shop next to me. And the tattoo shop, there's a giant sign that says "Getting Under Your Skin." And I was like...
Yeah.
This is the universe having a joke with me right now, because this is getting under my skin and I am letting it get under my skin, but what is it teaching me? And then I switched out of it, but it was so difficult. I was like so angry.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I just feel like that those circumstances I've never been so challenged in my life, I think.
Yeah.
Constantly, you know, because it was like,
every day.
It was not a challenge. It was like 2 weeks of a challenge every day. Right, even when we got to
it was like an
Reno,
escape room in the desert,
and we were just kind of like, we're still kind of like really excited, but every day we would see that things were gonna get
worse,
challenging and difficult and worse, and then you're like, and then you hear like, the build lead screaming, and kicking boxes, and you're like, damn, you know, it was interesting.
It wasn't great.
And in that moment in the parking lot, I was so thankful for my father, because he once taught me to travel with both keys.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I was willing to leave you with that key because I had the other key.
I didn't realise you had the other key.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you want to play that game?
Great.
So I went to my suitcase. I had the other key, and I was like, hey, that key's probably $500. At this point, I don't care.
Oh, I thought I had a bargaining tool.
And then you thought, and then I saw your passport, and I was like, now I have a bargaining tool. I was ready to go.
You
I actually
me.
like sped up, and then I looked and I saw all your stuff, and I was like,
yeah, you can't leave a girl stranded in America in a car park in
I mean, the thing is, like,
never forgiven you.
I really felt like, all right, like for me, it's a money thing. It's a key, $500, whatever. But like for you, it was like a passport. You know, like that was a different league of...
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that we made it onto the podcast and that we made it through that awkward time. Because a lot of people would just... And because then the other thing was quite funny. So I went to LA afterwards. And the guy that I was staying with said to me, I think we should go out tonight. And I'm like, really? Where are we going to go? So I don't know. Let's just go somewhere. So we go and we said, oh, this guy called Unders is playing. I said, oh, I know Unders. He said, all right, yeah, let's go. And I'm thinking, I wonder if he's there. Meaning him. And I thought, nah, I'm in
Oh, well.
LA. And there's this girl that, oh, you've got braids in your hair. You must have been to Burning Man. How was it? How was the weather? So I'm doing the whole story. And I said, oh, yeah, it didn't really end well. And she goes, why? I said, oh, I just ended up arguing with a friend. And she goes, oh, what about? And I'm like, really long story, like really annoying. And now he's literally stood in front of me and you were just walking by me. I was like, oh my God. And then I looked at you and we awkwardly hugged and then said nothing. And you walked out.
Yeah, we were just like, it's like, what do you do in those moments, right?
It's like, of all the places you could be.
I'm not going to ignore you. I'm going to acknowledge you, but then at the same time, it's super awkward. And we both know that it's super awkward.
It was
and
fun.
You don't know, like, I think also in that moment, like...
You don't know if you're ever going to speak again.
Well, you also don't know how the other person's going to react.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we both kind of laughed when we hugged each other and then we just went...
We did laugh at the absurdity of the event. And I'm glad that was how we handled it. And then we just moved along.
Yeah. These are awkward moments. These are the difficult moments that we have that you just... I mean, we're conscious enough. And obviously when you messaged me and you were like, hey, can we meet up? Like, let's chat. It was like nothing had happened.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, cool, what's been happening? And just getting on with it. I almost didn't even talk about it. We just carried on talking about it. No, I think we need to acknowledge what happened. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. It was definitely, I mean, I recognized that I was not in my best behavior and that...
I was being a drama queen.
It was just like, it was just too much. Mm-hmm. But it had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Or me. We were just like pushed to our limits and anything that like at that moment could have... and anything would have ended up badly, you know. It was just like, for me, it was just like the thing is like my trigger for the whole week was I gave away my independence.
Yes.
When I signed up to drive the truck.
Yes.
So then that was playing on my head and repeat for the whole week.
Okay.
And then at the point where I was literally able to leave, you took away my independence. So I was like, hell no. Hell no. Even if I have to like take the other key and just drive off.
I'm so sorry I took your independence. I'm so sorry.
But I mean, I feel like...
Do you forgive me?
What?
Did you forgive me?
Of course.
Thank God.
And I think we need to go back and go to the swings again.
Oh my God, yeah, we had a wonderful moment at the swings. We just, because we were the only ones who had an electric bike. Everybody else had crap bikes, so we were like, we're going to leave them behind. We're just going to go at full speed, because that's why we have electric bikes.
Yeah.
And off we went, and we went to the swings, and we have beautiful photos from that. I'm very happy, so we need to go back to the swings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed. So we're going to go, let's have a look what we've got. We're going to go and chat. We have, and by the way, if you're watching this, thank you very much, whether you're watching us now or you're watching us in the future, we're very grateful. So we wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk about you with your content.
All right.
Because essentially, you and your content.
What a conversation.
It is, because you don't usually make content. And lately you've been pulling out some really cool pieces of content, which I feel is showing your personality. And I feel from an artist perspective, you have to create yourself. You might be an artist in music, but if you're not necessarily an artist socially and you don't really know how to get creative beyond making music, it's very hard for you to meet the social media demand that you have out there. You, however, have been crossing the bridge and building more of a persona online, which is part of the reason why we're here. Because I thought I just want to show you off and talk about what you're doing and give you more space to be you, because I think it's really important, because you would have been, this time last year, you're like, content, like, I don't want to do it. And we had a conversation at Primal, remember?
Last year and the last 10 years.
Exactly. So it's like, how do you get out there and push past your own boundaries? If you consider social media content as an art form as well, and you are more creative with it, then you've kind of fallen in love with it and you're enjoying it, right? Or am I wrong?
Wow, what a question. I do enjoy making it. I do get excited when
what bit do you get excited about?
For me, the resistance was everything in social media was like the resistance towards doing stuff and creating stuff and recording the content. And then I think the most challenging thing for artists is like you could have a great idea, but if you have 100 followers or 500 followers, like, not a lot of that idea, like, that was very challenging in my previous projects, where we would have these amazing, like, videos of us, like, playing acoustic versions of our tracks, or making a track with, like, noises of balloons and all these things, and then we would, like, sing, and we would create all these really cool things that I thought had a lot of value, but then if your audience is not big enough, nobody really sees them. And that was like 10 years ago, before there was such of a push towards virality, or towards, like, just, yeah, like, I feel like now it's actually more, you can, like, I feel like back then, just the people that follow you were the people who saw your content, because there was no reels or anything. It was just like, Instagram was still a very personal thing of, like, I follow you, you follow me, I watch your stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, now, seeing the reaction of people liking my stuff, I mean, I have a lot of fun doing when it's fun, when it's a funny post, and also just getting the snowball rolling for me has been really helpful. It's just like, all right, how, and I mean, I also have a trick up my sleeve that, I mean,
share the trick.
I mean, ChatGPT.
Okay, right.
It's like really, really great how I can use it now. Just as, like, literally, if I'm talking to someone, bouncing ideas of, like, hey, what do you think about this? How would you frame this? How would you do this as a reel or a carousel? Like, because I did this really cool thing. I'm proud of it. I asked ChatGPT, hey, how can I help you improve my life?
How can I help you improve my life?
Yeah.
Clever question.
And
like
it basically gave me a bunch of questions and said, make a text document, answer these questions without editing, very honestly, very raw, and then just put them in a prompt and just put add for context, or add as context.
Yeah.
So now I wrote a whole page of, like, who am I? What are my values? Where do I grew up with? I mean, how, like, if I have siblings, my family dynamics, what's
details.
important. Not back details, but, like, everything that's really important to me, So now, like, every time I ask for something hey, help me create this piece of content, or what do you think I can do? It's just like, well, I think you should do this because you, like, it really takes into consideration even things like my vulnerability, or, like, how honest I want to be on social media. So that has definitely been to speed up the process of creation. It's just like, oh, I have this, great.
And do you have, like, a thought process where you really put a lot of thought into the post, or do you just and you plan it out for the day, or do you just sit back on the sofa and say, oh, I'm going to post something, and you create it in the moment? Are you planning it, or?
I'm not there yet, but that's the plan.
You're planning to plan.
I mean, the thing is, like, I have.
What star sign are you?
I'm Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, yeah.
So I have like, calendars are not my thing.
Okay.
And that's always been a struggle for me. So I love the idea of being like, hey, I have content planned for the next 3 weeks, and I think at some point I would love to do that. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of things that just come out of being there, like, for example, today I saw the 20,000 streams thing. I was like, all right, I'm going to share this. But then I'm like, who cares? But then you're like, all right, can I twist it in a funny way that actually creates this piece of content that people are going to, like, have fun? Like, for me, it's just literally, like, I want two things. That when you're at my gigs and you're in the dance floor, there's something that touches your heart, a song, a moment, something, and that when you see my content on Instagram, you get a laugh. If I can accomplish those things, I'm good.
Yeah, I get the laughter thing. For me, with my stories, and I get people coming up to me going, oh my God, as soon as I go to Instagram, I go straight on your stories, because I post a lot. I just repost comedy and stuff that I like, and fun things. and it's nice that that's my humor, and people get to know you through your humor as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and then sometimes it's, they're like, oh, all you do is post funny stuff or stuff about sound, or like the most random conspiracy theory will be dropped in every.
Oh yeah. You're right. You do that.
I do that, but I like to make people think, and my two things is if I can make you laugh and make you think, my job is done.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the context of everything I do. Even this is, having a conversation about vulnerability, living in Ibiza, putting content out there. This is the first show of going back online and being back on my podcast. I've had vulnerability as well, because there's been certain things I stopped for ages. I know I'm good online, I know I love it, but I have been holding myself back for a while because I've had personal stuff going on and judgments from others and not being myself, and then I think I just got to push myself and get out there and just go, do you know what, who cares? On the grand scheme of what's going on, from the Epstein files to they're not going to be caring what I do. Really.
That's
We've got aliens, we've got Epstein files,
like...
we've got other stuff, and like my little show, having you with me today is making me happy. That's all that matters. But then certain things, like it's very interesting. The last time I had my show was in a house that I lived in before, and then I stopped having my show. I stopped being myself, and I stopped having my show. And then I come here tonight, and I'm just like, can't believe this has happened. I'm like, he's like, you're right, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But the carpet's annoying me. You've got a rug in the room, and I'm getting triggered by it. I'm not really sure why, but I know why. It's because it's thinking it looks the same as the rug that I had in the previous house. And I was like, yeah, it's really triggering me. And he's like, oh yeah, and then we figured out that it is the rug from the house,
literally the same rug
that I lived in before.
I
was like, oh.
That's so interesting. Like that's
when I stopped doing my podcast, and
so
now it's
crazy.
Here, and it's all the stuff under the carpet.
That's something I would never notice.
No,
I
just looked at it. I was like, this is really. And the other table that you've got there, the grey table, is the same table I had in my old house in the UK. So because I saw the table, I was like, oh, I live with my friend Kat. We had this table. It was great. And we used to keep all of our tarot cards and everything in there.
Yeah, I have a tarot there.
Right? And then I saw it. I was like, I swear I know where this table's from. And I'm just thinking, where do I know this table from? And then I looked at the carpet and I was like, oh, wow, this is really familiar. This is really bizarre.
That's unreal.
And so the rug's here. So it just, no matter what I want to get away from, it will always follow me, I think. So I've got to go with it. And it's an awkward moment, but I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's just showing up. Yeah. For me, it's showing up. I know I've accepted the fact that, like, I cannot have a musical career without social media now and then. Or maybe you can, but, like, I really feel like we've come to the world, even though it's hard for me to accept it, that even if you're a dentist, if you do, like, social media content, you could potentially have other streams of income, or you could improve your career. Yeah. I have a cousin. Yeah. She's a nutritionist, but she's also like an Instagrammer, and she's like winning.
Yeah, you have to be willing to win. Oh, we've got here, Mike is really low, hard to hear him. Apparently your mic's really low. That's another awkward moment. So is there anything over here that we need to do? I don't think so.
Let me see. That's interesting.
This is a very good thing. Thank you, John, for letting us know.
No, that's not.
No, that's not it.
I think that's on the wall.
Here we go.
Settings.
We're looking at the audio settings in the background here, so I'll keep you entertained in the meantime.
Yes. How's that? Is that better?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Let's see if he mentions anything. We'll see if he mentions it. He might have texted me as well. He's an avid. Got it. There you go.
Great.
Yeah, great. But I'm wondering. I don't know. Maybe turning it up slightly. Let's see if that works.
All right.
See how we go. But what were we saying?
Well, just talking about being out there.
Yeah, and being out there, putting ourselves out
there. The reality of today's world of, like, you put something out there, it exists on the ethos. And for me, I'm taking a course. Like, I'm actually taking courses and things like that, trying to learn.
What are you taking courses in?
Like in social media for artists.
Are you?
Yeah, and branding and marketing for artists.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, the reality is that nobody's going to do it for me.
No, that's true.
And at the same
true.
time, every time in the past that I've tried to work with an agency or a social media team or whatever, it's so hard to like show them like this is my personality.
Yeah.
This is how I want to
No,
come
I think
across.
you're doing a good job on your own.
You know, so yeah, for me, it's been. I still like right now. I gave myself like 6 months of like destroy everything to the
Chuck
to the
everything at
wall
and some of
and
it
see
will
what
stick.
sticks. And also because like I don't want to become a comedian, you know, but like some of
I
my
do,
contents
I think.
are funny, you know,
Yeah.
because I just find it hilarious and absurd.
Yeah.
But my priority has to stay like
Present.
around my music and about sharing the message that I want to share. But at the same time, like, yeah, comedy is always relatable and it's always funny. And one thing that I don't want to be is like, I think we have enough DJs that just have this persona of like, just black or dark and very serious and very mysterious.
Yeah.
And that's great, you know. But that's
For the
not
music,
me,
but not,
you know?
yeah, not, you're not, you're Mr. Purple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Mr. Purple. I want to be I'm throwing a party. Like, I want people dancing and having fun and
Yeah.
smiling. Like, that's
Yeah,
it.
you
Like,
need a happier crew. You're not really the kind of Berghain corner
no,
underground.
no. That, I mean, it would be really funny, but like, no, for me, I'm more around in the world of butterflies and
Unless we're in the
Palo
car.
Santo and
Unless we're in the car park in Reno.
yeah. I mean,
And then he's not butterflies.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Don't
Driving
take away
around.
my independence.
I will never take away your independence again, I promise. Okay, so I wanted to mention something earlier. I forgot to mention it to you. So you mentioned earlier like 20,000 streams across your Spotify over the course of X amount of months or whatever. If you think about a stadium of 20,000 people, that's how many people have listened to your music.
Yeah.
It might just look like a really little number on screen in comparison, but 20,000 people focused on one thing, maybe not all at the same time, but that's a lot of wielding of attention.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such an interesting thing to talk about that, you know, because you think about that, you think about like, I mean, obviously that's the thing. It's a number, like right now, like I'm not really happy to admit it, but like I wake up and I check the stats, right? And I'm check like, oh, how many streams did I get? Blah, blah, blah. How's the new release doing? And
You kind of
compared to the other
should
ones.
as well. There's
know?
a fine line between that being bad for you and that being a good thing because you're in that market. You know, it's like a guy getting up and checking what's going on in the markets because he's invested. You're invested in your music. You're invested in this way, but
you're right.
It's your responsibility to check what's going on because you have to feed your audience and you have to feel what's working and what's not, and to make sure that you can create something consistent, like you were talking about with, you know, the climbing for something you want is not bad, but we judge ourselves because we think it's cringe that we should want it. And that's the only thing. But
Well, the thing is, we grew up in an era where artists were mysterious.
yes,
And we knew nothing about them.
Yeah.
If I wanted to know something about my favorite artist, I would have to wait for them to release a VHS, and hopefully
or
they
the
would
odd
have
magazine article.
or they would have like a 10-minute like behind the scenes footage, and then you would see their personalities. You know, like so yeah, like, and they had a team and everything. Like they literally just focused on making music and being on stage, right? So that's how I fell in love with music, and that's what made me go into music creation. And I made a post recently about this, about how the same year that I was starting my music career, Mark Zuckerberg was like
Starting Facebook.
miles away because he was at MIT and I was in Boston and Berkeley. He was starting Facebook. He was dropping out to start Facebook.
So were you one of the first users of Facebook back then?
And back then you needed .edu email because it was just for universities. Because that's how it started.
Okay.
Like he started to get to know people on campus. So it was just basically you needed to have an edu, like a from a college email, and then you could get in.
Right,
This was like
okay.
2005 or 6 or 4.
Can you remember, when I mention this to people, no one can really remember, and I swear it's either a Mandela effect or I was in another reality. Can you remember where one of the things on Facebook was that you could chuck a sheep at someone?
What?
Can you not remember that? No?
Chuck a sheep?
Yeah, you could, like, instead of poking someone, you could chuck a sheep at them. I need to go on to. I'm going to ask Merlin. Hold on.
I mean, that sounds very British. Maybe just
No,
in the UK.
I swear I'm going to ask Merlin. So Merlin's my
All right, ask
ChatGPT. Merlin, was there a thing on Facebook where it was not an application originally where you had a button where you could chuck a sheep at someone? I remember this, but nobody else can. Let's see what Merlin says.
Well, anyway. So for me, yeah, I grew up with artists. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
There absolutely was a thing on Facebook in the mid to late 2000s where you could throw a sheep at someone. Here's what's likely happening in the collective amnesia. The sheep throwing
It was
era.
a super poke.
It was a super poke. It wasn't built into Facebook by default. It was part of the early Facebook app and the ecosystem. So the sheep launcher, throw a sheep, variation. Yes, see, it was a super poke.
We've been through so much.
I know.
Anyway,
So happy.
so long story short, it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it. It's cringe. I feel ridiculous at 40, just trying to think about things on how to do my social media. And I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as I can and make people laugh and learn a few things here and there.
Yeah.
And but what is remarkable is to have the awareness of like, man, like every new reel that I make, I learn a new trick on the editing software, and I'm like, oh, how could I do this, and how would I do this, and blah blah blah, and things just kind of like compound to each other, and I feel like that is great, you know, like,
Yeah.
and if you can make a few people laugh, I think that's worth it.
I'd laugh.
And I think for me, like, if I'm able to do it with the outcome of like, all right, the outcome is that I'm a musician and I'm an artist and I want people to basically come to my shows or follow or listen to my music. I don't want to lose that focus.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I don't want to be like, hey, listen to my music. Hey, listen to my music. You know, so maybe, you know, because nowadays...
You should be the Mexican in the corner. Listen to my music. Listen to my music. I think that needs to be your emoji with a little purple hat on. Listen to my music. Listen to my music. You're going to make that.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the genius. And if you saw I mean, Mexico, I come from Mexico, right? And we've been using humor to deal with our reality for years.
Same as a British.
Yeah, but you guys have dry humor.
Yeah.
We have the most ridiculous humor. Like every day, all my friends that send me stuff, like funny stuff from Mexico, it's like next level. So,
would you say that Mexicans are funnier than the British people?
100%.
What?
100%.
All the Mexicans I know love British humour.
Yeah,
And
because
the
all the Mexicans you know are like white Mexicans.
No, I know more.
No. I mean, if you know, probably
kind of, yes,
the
yes,
chance
they're
that
actually
that
white
you
Mexicans.
know a Mexican, it means that they're part of the top 10% of like income.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, they like British.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking to like people that don't even speak English.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
don't even like, when you tell them British humor, they think they're talking about the US. Like,
Right. Okay.
you know,
yes.
you're talking to sophisticated people.
Okay.
I feel like, because Mexican humor is just really absurd, and sometimes the British humor I mean, it takes certain amount of intelligence.
We are intellectually brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I really respect it and I like it, but if like the way Mexicans like we use the Spanish language in just such an amazing way.
Yeah, I do need to learn Spanish so I can do that.
You need to learn Mexican. That's the thing.
Mexican, okay.
Because if you learn Spanish and then you go to Mexico, you won't understand a thing.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's just like learning the intricacies of the language. I think Latin America just turned Spanish into like this beautiful language of like possibilities.
Okay. There's an incentive. I need to learn Mexican Spanish.
Yes, okay. yes, absolutely.
That and everything else this year.
So
and how to launch a show and everything else.
Yeah, so for me, just to close on that point, it's an exploration.
I think you're doing a good job.
I'm having fun. Thank you for your support. And it's just something that you gotta have to find a way to do it with integrity for yourself. Find a way to push the message and also just remove yourself from the outcome. Just like with my mom. Just be like, all right, 10 people saw this, that's great. You know, that's it. Basically, my life is just managing expectations.
Do you want to know what I've got written on my wrist? It says no expectations, just high hopes.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Which is quite a contradiction, but I was high on ketamine when I had that done many years ago.
I have a few of those.
There you go, yeah. Okay, so we are going to wrap up today's show. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. We are going to have Jonathan Goldman on Friday. Are you going to join me for that? Yeah?
Yes, I think I will.
Okay, amazing. So we're going to have Jonathan Goldman, who is an incredible sound healer, and he is renowned from bringing sound healing over from the east to the west back in, I think it was like the 60s. He's got such an incredible story. I'm going to let you have a little read about him before we go online.
Please.
But he's going to be joining us on Friday night, so we're going to have a chat with him and possibly his wife Andy. Save me half of that cookie because I want the other half.
Yes.
I've been eyeing it up for ages. And then I think maybe on Valentine's Day evening we may go live something. Maybe. I've got you in the diary, but maybe we can do that. Maybe we go live and do something. And you may play guitar because he's got a wonderful purple guitar.
I do, it's over there.
Yeah, so you can play, and you played for us at Burning Man, which was beautiful, which I didn't know you could play like that, but he just like casually sat there and did his thing. I was like, oh my God.
There was chaos on the other side.
There was chaos. So I was in the chaos and he was playing on his purple guitar. So
no, that was a blue one. It's a different
one. Oh, right, okay. But yeah, so I think we're going to be back. So we'll be back on Friday evening at 6 p.m. on Friday evening. But thank you for watching today. Where can people find out about your stuff, by the way?
Kondo Music. It's my Instagram at Kondo Music with a K, Kondo Music. I think that would be the best way.
Yeah, go and stalk you and have a look at some of the Instagram posts he's been putting. They are funny.
I have a really funny one coming on today.
As long as you find yourself funny, that's all that matters. And for me, you can check out Natalie.Lauraine. Lauraine is Lauraine. But if you're watching this, you can also see it above or below. It's everywhere. And and check out thedailymeds.com. Go and do some awkward meditations.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And stream. That was so cool.
Right.
So much fun.
Okay.